Hi everybody, Christopher Moss here, prointernetmarketing.co.uk, and this is video 5 in my Learning WordPress series. This video is about adding links to your blog. Now, if you're using WordPress 3 onwards, it would appear that they've actually removed the links sidebar thing here by default. If you're using a custom theme or an earlier version of WordPress, I believe the links box was definitely in WordPress 2 by default, already enabled. And if you've got your own custom theme, you might find that it's built into your theme, so it might be there. But if you're using the standard installed theme, it's not actually there. So the first thing that we need to do, and before we actually add this in, I want to say that as soon as you actually add the links widget in, it's going to delete your archives and this meta thing by default. So just be aware that if you go into your widgets, as we'll do in a second, and add in a widget, it's actually going to remove these two by default. I'll explain why in a sec, but needless to say, the first thing we actually need to do, because otherwise this is going to be a bit pointless, is to add a link. So we click on links, and we want to go to, well, if you click on all links, if you remember in video 2, we actually deleted all the default links, so we're going to add in a link, and we're just going to add it into Google. So we're going to call this link to Google. I'm going to call this, we're going to give it the web address of http://google.co.uk. You can give it a description, as it says there when someone hovers over, so we'll just say, hover description would go here, just so that you can see what actually happens. If you don't actually have more than one category, it's just going to go into your blog role by default, which is just another name for sort of default links. Other than that, you can add a new category there, very similar to adding a post category, but it's actually not the same as a post category. Or you can just choose from ones that you've already got. So we'll just add that into blog role. You've got some other options as to whether it opens in a new tab, the current tab, different window, etc. This stuff here, you can tick away. It doesn't, in my opinion, make much difference, but probably from a search engine optimization perspective, it does. I don't generally mess around with that box, but like I say, you can do. And then you've got some other stuff here, which I don't bother with either. But again, you can do. If you're adding a few different links in at a time, it just seems like a bit overkill to me. But then you've got this, keep this link private. I believe that is just if you want to add it in for certain visitors and so on. I don't know why you would actually use that, so I don't ever tick that. And we're just going to click on add link. So we've got our link in. We're just going to click on all links. So that's our link to Google. If we go back here and do a refresh, it's still not there. You might be thinking, well, why not? Why on earth it's not actually come up? How frustrating. So the thing that we need to do is go to appearance, and we need to go to widgets. Now widgets are like, as you can see, the various different bits and pieces that display on your sidebar. Your sidebar is this bit, and this can actually move around on different themes. Your sidebars can be in different places, and then you've also got your footer area there, which you can also add widgets into, and also you can put your widgets occasionally in the header as well. On this theme, that's not enabled. The showcase sidebar is something slightly different, which we'll cover in a bit more detail in one of the upcoming videos. But the footer area 1, 2 and 3 is just basically how the footer is segmented, so it's like left, center and right. So we're not going to actually bother with that in this video. We're just going to use the main sidebar, which is just, scroll back up, it's just that bit there. So as I say, when you actually add your links, if I was to drag this links box, all you do is you just click on any of these, and you can drag them around and then drop them into whichever container you need to open the container before you can drag something in. But before I do that, I just want to say, if you actually just drag that in now, you will lose these two, your archives and your meta. It's not super important because you can add them straight back in, but I just want you to be aware that and I'll demonstrate that now. So just left click on this, on links, and just drag it. Keep your button held down, your left mouse button held down, and drag it over to main sidebar. You can come back to this in a sec, but you save that, and we'll refresh. And there we go. We've got our blog roll link, so that's good. but we've actually lost our meta and our archives there. So you might want to add your archives back in. So I'm just going to drag that onto there, archives, and we've also got meta, which is, where is it? Meta. You just click and drag, and you just got to go near the top there, and it'll scroll up. Bit weird that. Oh, it's actually there as well. Should have just used it from there. And then drop that in, refresh, and there we go. We've got all our stuff back all of a sudden, so that's good. You might have seen there suddenly got a few more options there. Yeah, I find that a bit strange actually. That's more of the old school way of looking at it, but not too sure why the default options are slightly different. Could be because I'm logged in, but I don't think it is. But anyway, so just quickly want to touch on this. When you on any of these things that you add in, you can change the title. So this is actually just called archives, but we could call this old blog archive posts, and then we just save that and refresh, and it will have changed this archives tag thing there. Can change that, and all these different options here, all of these have their own separate menu options. It changes from different widget to widget, and in links there, if we added a different category, we could have our blog roll links displayed there, but we could have, say, some other links displayed maybe in the footer area as well. So you can just do, it's just good for little customization bits and tweaks. I'll just quickly add that in now, just so that you can see it exactly what I mean. I'm going to add a category, I'm going to add a new link, and we're going to call this one Yahoo. We're going to give that a link to Yahoo, so yahoo.co.uk, and description of Yahoo. Now I'm just going to add a category in here so I don't have to type in the slug and everything twice. So I'm just going to call this footer links and add that in. And that's actually just in the footer links. You'll notice I've not ticked it into blog roll. So I'm going to add that link. Go back to all our links. So you can see this is in categories blog roll. This is in categories footer links. Now if I refresh, it's not come up, but it has actually added in a separate category called footer links. Now I don't want that I don't want it to display that way. So I'm just going to go back to my widgets. I'm going to click on links, and here I'm going to change this from all links to this blog roll. Save that, and you'll find now that footer links has disappeared. So I'm going to try and put footer links down here. I'm going to see if this works well. So I'm going to go into footer area 1, why not? I'm going to drag links in there. We're going to just have footer links on this one instead, so we're not going to show all the blog roll links either here. So if we refresh that, we should find that here, there we go, we've got our footer links in there. I can, I can drag this box, just close that up. I can drag that there, and it remembered my settings, so I can just quickly refresh and it'll find it's over here. Oh, it's maybe because I don't have a few other things in there. If we just add in there, say, a calendar into footer 1, and maybe pages into footer 2. This is just to demonstrate that you can move stuff around, I guess. It might make a mockery of me in a minute, but I'm just going to refresh that. And there we go, it's moved it across. And it looks a bit cheap, obviously, but what's happening there is if you don't put stuff into the other footers, weirdly, it scoots everything along to the left. That'll be some sort of CSS, cascading style sheet nonsense that's happening there. So don't worry about that too much. And again, don't worry if you don't understand that I just said it's not important. It's just saying that'll be the reason why. It's just some HTML type gubbins that you don't need to worry about. So so we've got our blog roll and everything set up. So that's really basically how to add a link and how to get it to display. So like I say, I mean, you can do little tweaks and stuff and just make sure that stuff's getting displayed properly. Use your link categories, stuff just to make sure that you've got things in different groups effectively, and that's how to get them to display really. So I guess we'll wrap up this video here, and in the next video we'll look at how to customize your theme, how to download a different theme, etc. So see you in video 6.